If you've been listening to the devotions that God's placed on my heart this week, I genuinely pray that it has blessed you. The last thing I want to share about this week, the last topic on my mind, and I think it's the most important one because of this one. All the rest of them just sort of fall into place. I want to talk today just briefly about your journey with Jesus, and I'm sharing from the concept of what are we missing. And today, what are you missing in your journey with Jesus? So let's start with this question. What does walking with Jesus mean to you? What does it look like? There's a really cool passage in Matthew 22, 34 to 40. And I know I say it was a really cool passage a lot of the time, but I love seeing people come to an understanding, but I also love seeing people go, oh, and being silenced, because it's like, wow, I genuinely have to think about that. But I love seeing the heart behind when Jesus talks to people and the reflection that comes from it. And I pray that this would cause you to reflect today. It says here the greatest commandment, and you may have heard this before. It says here in verse 34, hearing that Jesus had silenced the Sadducees, the Pharisees got together. I just think about them getting in a huddle like this and go, all right, we can do one better on this. One of them, an expert in the law, so a teacher, someone who's very educated, got up and thought, I'm going to test Jesus. And it says here, he tested Jesus with this question. It says, teacher, what is the greatest commandment in the law? And it's like Jesus replied. It didn't say Jesus was stumped and went, I've got to think about this. I love it. I love it that he was always prepared to minister to people's hearts. And it's like, he's not a politician that diverts the answers or anything like that. He has the word that just goes straight to the heart and causes you to go, wow, that was a dumb question, or I'm thinking completely wrong about this. I need to be thinking about it in God's view. And so Jesus replied and he says this, love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. With all your mind to me means to honor God. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. I love this, all the law and the prophets hang on these two commandments. Everything is based on those two commandments. Everything can be, some other versions say all the law and the prophets are fulfilled in these two commandments. That everything stems off love God, love your neighbor. I love it. So I get this picture that the Sadducees were just like, I can prove our relationship with God, that we know so much about God and my journey with God by asking a question, and Jesus answers them previously to this, and they were like just silence. They couldn't say anything. And so then next the Pharisees get together and they're like, well, this game of ping pong, I can win this. I'll knock it back in their court and we will look smart. And they ask Jesus a question, and then the Pharisees don't say anything again. And I got this picture when I was reading this message that sometimes that's like our walk with Jesus, that we look at other people's experience and the knowledge they have, and we think maybe that's how my journey with Jesus should be. I should be asking questions like that. That would make me look like I know a lot. And that's kind of the picture I get from this. The Sadducees, Pharisees would reflect like that. We know so much. We are so holy. And they miss the whole point of the relationship that they have with God based on worrying about what other people think. And I ask this question today, what does your walk with Jesus look like or mean to you, or how would you articulate it? Not because I'd be looking for an answer so I know how I should walk, but so I know what my conviction is in that. What is my walk with Jesus? Because if I'm walking with someone who loves me and I'm not feeling loved, then I'm missing something. If I'm walking with someone and who gives me security and salvation and freedom from things, and I'm not feeling those things, then I'm missing something. I shared on Sunday that there was a bracelet that went around years ago. They still make them now. What would Jesus do? And I remember that question, and we're like, well, I don't know what Jesus would do. And in my walk, what would Jesus do? He would teach me to do this or that. So I'm just going to do what Jesus would do because that's what we should do. And I thought, no, I don't want to do what Jesus did. I want to know why Jesus did that. The only way I can know the why is through a relationship with him. And the only way I can have a relationship with him is to genuinely seek him in everything. Seek him in my relationship with him, not seeking understanding because I notice other people's relationships or because I can come up with a great question, but seek him in my relationship with him and his will for my life. I pray that blesses you today.